Yeah, well, we're 65 days, I think, away from an election. And so what I've done is come up with the Marples 10-point manifesto for training and skills. Point 1 is to improve apprenticeship wages, initially to £125 a week and then progressively growing them in the medium term. We've got a lot of employers I'm sure would support that, but it really needs some government backing to move that forward. The second part of my 10-point plan is to see a government review of the role for FE in the next 30 years, because I believe the FE sector needs to look very different. It does fantastic work for many, many people, but the shape and structure of FE as we know it really hasn't changed since incorporation in 1992, and it really is time to have a look at that and move it forward and get it really fit for purpose for the next 30 years. The third part of my plan is to, at least in the short term, harmonise apprenticeship funding for 19 to 21-year-olds to the same levels of 16 to 18s, and I believe that that really will address the number of NEETs, of which 75 to 80% of all NEETs are in that 19 to 24-year-old category, and that the current funding system is really perverse and really impacts very adversely on those individuals. The fourth part of my plan is about implementation of the funding reforms such that it leaves the providers really at the heart of the system, using a voucher system that I think might be proposed or hopefully will be proposed in the not too distant future. But providers are very much at the heart of apprenticeship delivery, generating apprenticeship opportunities with local employers, and I think providers should remain at the heart of that system, accepting the fact that employers need to be more involved. The next part of my plan is to improve the regulation of trainers and assessors and create mandatory CPD. And I'm absolutely delighted that certainly following an article in FE News a few weeks ago, we've got the support of both Ofqual and other organisations who want to meet us to talk about how we move that forward. The next part of the plan is one for BIS and for the SFA, and that's to review the role of subcontracting within the system. It's a very valuable part of actually for new people to enter the market, and it should remain that. But there really does need to be a fundamental review for primes as to why they're actually subcontracting and the risks and benefits that are associated with that. Next part of the plan is to promote apprenticeships within SMEs, who make up 80% of all apprenticeship starts. And I just love to see the Prime Minister and the Skills Minister being videoed and photographed with more SMEs as against large employers. Next part of the plan is to motivate the sector to deliver value added at level 3 and level 4 apprenticeships rather than a focus at level 2, and that's through increasing the large employer discount and moving that money towards SME activity at level 3 and level 4. Coming to the end of my 10-point plan, we've got 3 to go. A really controversial one here, but to abolish funding for 23 plus ASB and use it to fund apprenticeship starts for earlier, younger people. And then finally for me, to recognise that the trailblazers are actually remarkably similar to the existing frameworks that we actually have, but they're actually costing the public purse 2 to 3 times in terms of implementation and in terms of delivery cost than their existing system. And I really do think we need to look forward and examine value for money that's associated with the trailblazer activity. That's my 10-point plan, Gavin. Hopefully at least 1 or 2 of them might get implemented during my lifetime in this sector. And thanks for listening.